Hey guys, this is Spooky Noodles, and I am here with an updated top 5 coming of age list. Now, these are my top 5 at the very moment. I did a top 5 coming of age novels before, but I made some adjustments and added some more books to it. A top 10 will be coming in the future. I just have to read like 3 more coming of age novels, and then I can make a good top 10 list. So without further ado, let's start with number 5 on my top coming of age list, and that is Within the Woods by Tony Urban. Now my copy is a little beat up because I read it extensively. I read it a lot and it gripped me a lot. You could tell because the way the book is, but I enjoyed this book a lot, and I just wish it was not longer, because I think it ran its length, but it just beats the October Boys. Like, it's so close between this one and the October Boys. The October Boys by Adam Millard is definitely a runner-up for the top 5 position, number 5. I mean, it hurt my head trying to pick between this one and the October Boys, but I ended up going with Within the Woods by Tony Urban. Then number 4 on the list, it is Boy's Life by Robert R. McCammon. Pretty good condition too. I hear great things about this book, and you should hear good things about this book, because what's that? Oh, it's just a little sticker thing. Because this book is amazing. This is one of the best coming of age stories I've read in a long time, and I know you're probably saying, why is it number 4 then? Because there's 3 other great coming of age books on this list. Boy's Life is so magnificent. Like, I don't know how much I could tell you about it. Within the Woods was about a creature that basically took over the host. It was like a parasite. It would take over the host, and it was about these boys trying to fight that host. Well, this is about one singular boy, and he has like a couple of friends, but it's really about one boy and his life. He witnesses a guy drive into the water, and he happens to be dead, handcuffed to the wheel. He witnesses an animal in a zoo, or a freak show, I guess. He has a magic woman give him a bike. So there's a lot of cool things about this book. My favorite scene involves I think an alligator. It's either a crocodile or an alligator. Obviously, those are the two. I think it's an alligator, because I think this takes place in... I can't remember where it takes place, but very good book. I enjoyed it a lot. Then next we have The Voice of the Night by Dean R. Koontz. Yes, I said Dean R. Koontz because that's what's on the book. So, this book was fantastic. It's about 2 boys, and one boy is really messed up in the head, while the other boy is a little naive and gullible, so he's trying the whole time not to believe what his friend is saying because he's gullible. So he's like, nah, he's just joking around. He's testing me, throughout the whole book. And then when he realizes that maybe he's not being tested, that maybe his friend is really crazy, it's a little too late. So, maybe it is not a little too late. I don't know. You have to read the book. But it was a fantastic book. My favorite scene is, what takes place on the cover. It involves a train, and it's a real peak of the book. It's when everything changes for the boy, and it's a rising action par none. It was very good. I enjoyed it a lot, and that's weird because I'm not a huge Dean Koontz fan. Now, I have some Dean Koontz books I want to dive into. I'm trying to only read the good ones by Dean R. Koontz, or Dean Koontz. And this is definitely his best work that he's written, in my opinion. He has a few books like The Strangers, The Bad Place, Twilight Eyes or something like that. I forget. But this is the only Dean Koontz book I have read so far, and I enjoyed it a lot. That's why it's number 3 on my favorite coming of age stories list. And then nothing's changed for number 2 and number 1. Number 2 is The Traveling Vampire Show by Richard Lehman. Now, I know people say Richard Lehman's pervy, he's disgusting, he's chauvinistic, and blah blah blah, but it just kind of make his writing just makes sense coming from a, how old is this boy, 16-year-old? It makes sense coming from a 16-year-old perspective. His childhood like writing, not childhood like writing, his immature writing makes sense when you're reading it from the perspective, first person perspective of a 16-year-old. So it all makes sense in that sense. It's just an amazing book, and it literally is like 2 days. Like, this whole book is 2 days. That is crazy. Like, 2 days is how many, I know it could be 3 days, but 2 days is basically this whole book. I enjoyed it. My favorite scene in this was probably can't think of my favorite scene in this book because there's so many good scenes, but I can't think of a single scene at the moment because there's so many, and I'm trying to pinpoint one. I know the actual Traveling Vampire Show, when the show happens, it is pretty awesome. I gotta say the climax is my favorite part of the book. I'm not gonna give it away because it is a huge spoiler, but it just involves a car, let's just say that, and it's amazing. Or I probably could be even more specific. It involves a hearse, I believe. So yeah, maybe that, I hope that isn't giving anything away, but it was, I did not see it coming. It was really right out of nowhere. I don't think he alluded to it at all in the book, which is what usually good prediction, like good twists you can predict, you know. But this one was just out of nowhere, and it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. So The Traveling Vampire Show by Richard Lehman definitely gets a nod for number 2, and it was my number 1 for the longest time. It's what started my coming of age kick, and yeah, always will love that book for those reasons. And I was hoping to get an updated version, get a nicer edition than the one I have, because I destroyed it, but I was unable to get it. So, but now we have this, and this is actually a newer version, not newer version, but my book that I had, I ripped the corners off by accident. Like, there was a corner back here ripped, 2 of the corners here were ripped, and the book was just in tatters. Like, it was, I read it to death. So, but this is Ronald Kelly's Fear, my favorite coming of age story of all time. I don't think, I mean, Richard Lehman's The Traveling Vampires, the only show, is the only book that comes close to Fear. And to be honest, it's hard to pick between the two, but I think Ronald Kelly did a better job. Ultimately, it feels a lot like Boy's Life. I think Boy's Life came first, but still, regardless, and Robert R. McCammon, I believe, is an inspiration to Ronald Kelly. So you see a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. Like, there's a lot different between this and the other book, but there's a lot of similarities as well, both about a kid from way back when, and, well, one has to fight this monster, while the other one, it's just really kind of about his life. So this one, he has to fight this monster. Things are going horribly for him. I hope this isn't spoiling anything, but his grandma has cancer. His dad is, how do you put it, mentally young. He had shell shock, and that made him think he's younger than he actually is. He acts like a child. He's innocent-minded. They call him simple-minded in the book. But he's just not. His dad's not well in the brain. And then to top it on off, the newly acquired girlfriend he gets in the book, or that sounds weird. That sounds like he's possessive. But his girlfriend he just meets up with. Hold on one second. Hey, wardrobe change. Yeah, like I was talking about. This is about. I gotta hurry because I'm about to go somewhere. But this is about a boy and his journey to find out how to kill this monster. And it goes to Fear County, which is why it's called Fear. He goes to Fear County and things happen. Basically he's going because both his grandma has cancer, his dad's simple-minded, and his girlfriend, like I was saying before, got abducted by this monster and he can't get her. She's trapped. So he hears about this granny woman who has powers, and she may be able to help the boy in this book. I think his name is Jeb. I think, yeah, Jeb Sweeney. He's what's the word? He has to go to Fear County in order to help everyone around him. And hopefully he can help everyone around him. But that is Fear, and that's my #1 favorite coming-of-age story of all time. So, like I said, this is just an updated version. I will do a top 10 as soon as I read like 3 more coming-of-age novels. Right now, I think like #9 is Ghoul. So, you can get a taste of what that list is gonna be like. I have read 9 coming-of-age stories so far, and I have like a bunch to go. So, you know, one could top the other easily, but you never know. The top 2 are like really set in at their spots, so it's gonna be hard to top those. But that is my list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a good day, a spooky night. I will catch you in the next video. Peace out, guys.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.